Hey everybody, this is Casey Wallace, and I am back with you for the pre-conference interviews for the Empower You Expo with Tina Jones. Of course, as we keep mentioning, that this expo was supposed to be brought to us personally and physically, and we would have all been there, lovely to meet all of you, and you would be personally sitting in today's guest audience. But because of the opportunity that is faced with us worldwide, Tina has been brilliant enough to pivot this into a virtual expo, which, really, we just get to reach more of you this way. Today's guest is Lida Green, and she is a super cool lady. She brings forth the magic to assist women and perhaps even men occasionally feel very beautiful, very empowered, feel very good about themselves, and we're going to let her tell you how she does that. So without further ado, our introduction today is with Leta Greene. Thank you, Leta, for being with us today.
Oh, it is my honor to be on here. Thank you for having me and pivoting with all of us. Instead of just sitting down and dying, we can go forward, right? Put out what we get.
Leta, tell everybody what your magical gift of artistry is all about for everyone.
So the tagline of my business, and I actually got it from my great aunt, is spend enough time on yourself in the morning to forget about yourself the rest of the day. And the truth of the matter is, we are going to forget about ourselves. We get caught up in the to-dos. I actually think it's been a wonderful opportunity that I've been able to serve myself in my highest form, because time I'm totally in control of. So, right, this is a gift that we have. But in our typical life, we have all these demands that are pulling us, those of us that have the luxury of being able to be home and not being on the front line of working this. So we have more flexibility. And so I'm saying, as you now, especially, we can make this habit of creating an affirmation exercise around our beauty routine instead of a shaming exercise, which we typically do, which will help get the mindset, and that all this outer stuff just becomes a symbol of the time you put in to care to yourself instead of the mask.
Thank you for that dialogue. My little body's kind of getting tingles here because I love the representation of what you said. I want to support what you said about your beautiful aunt. My mother, I'm a child born in the 60s, and so my mother actually grew up in the 40s, and those women there were, at that time period, did their hair, did their makeup every day, wore hats, wore high heels, wore gloves. I mean, they were, yes, and my mother never went a day without doing her hair and makeup. In fact, short of being very sick. And I'm going to go even far enough to say, I think she put a little makeup on even when she was sick. And I never thought much about it when I was a child. It was just normal to see my mother that way. I was a little shocked when I saw other people's moms not have makeup on. But I remember my mother saying that it made her feel, she used to say, I'm going to put my face on. I'm going to put my face on. It made her feel ready to go, ready for anything. But she also, and I don't want to say this without making this sound kind of male chauvinistic or female chauvinistic on your point of view, but she said, I want to look good for your dad every day. He's a man, he's going to be looking around, and I want him to still be looking at me. And that was her, kind of demonstration for me in the industry that I ended up going in. And my girls are kind of that same way.
Well, I think that if it's not done from a place of shame, and it is done from a place of self-care and maintenance, and one of the things that I love that I'm able to do is I'm able to curtail how much the beauty industry has so much. If I were to apply everything I knew about beauty, it'd take me 2 hours to get out of the bathroom in the morning. But what I did here took me about 10 minutes, and I have a formula that I'm teaching that I know for my eye shape. And so this isn't rocket science. And before, we were able to chat about how you've been in this industry as well. So you could laugh with me of, how deep that rabbit hole is of beauty. And it can become very twisted, taking it away from, the inner soul and what really can serve you. And so I'm keeping it in a level of self-esteem and beauty and serving and giving and a representation of what that first impression of people are. I mean, the facts are that society is judgmental. And if you have a red skin from, dry skin, that is an alarm color in nature. And the subconscious brain automatically, from our fight or flight, looks at that. And, likewise, if I have blood red lipstick on, like the color of your chair, I'm saying sexy, sexy to the male brain. And so I'm not going to let my 16-year-old daughter wear sexy, sexy, because we're not advertising sexy, sexy. So it's important to know the messages of what you're saying. And too much makeup says I'm high maintenance. Too little says I didn't try. And getting that right balance for your profession to give the best first impression, and have it coming from someone who's been in the beauty industry, not as long as you served in it, but I've been in it for 26 years, that has those expertise and has studied both the psychology side and the ingredient side.
I know, I so agree with you. I mean, in all of the teaching components, this is really valuable, because this applies for every single female out there. I don't care if you are a real naturalist, athletic type, very light touch application, to glamour girl, a little on the high maintenance, maybe something in between. And also, Lida, I think it's important for people, especially young people, to understand that there's appropriate makeup for daytime versus evening versus formal versus maybe just going to the beach, kind of some sunscreen and maybe a little mascara and lip balm. I mean, these things, to look like, we used to affectionately call it, porn makeup, for somebody wearing porn makeup to the office, and thinking to myself, she just hasn't been taught. That's probably just, she's doing that every day for herself, bless her heart. She's putting in all of that work, and really finding that you can really represent yourself in your mood, in your activity, in your timeline, because our timelines change, as we progress through our lives. And this information is just invaluable. So thank you so much.
And men not feeling left out. I have a lot of male clients that we're just putting a little touch of coverage that nobody can tell that is on. Again, a light touch. So the women who are like, I don't want to look like I'm wearing makeup. It's about taking those colors that do distract, the redness, the irritation around the eye. And we show not only our age, but more importantly, we show our kindness through our eyes. We show connection through our eyes. And so if your makeup is distracting people from seeing what I call the hotness, your eyes, male or female, if you're the redness or dry irritation around your eyes, I work with a line of skincare that increases collagen renewal by 168% and naturally. And I've been with this product line for 20 years, and I found them because they were natural 20 years ago. My biggest objection that I had to work with my clients at the time was that it was natural, it didn't work. But I like that because I wanted to be putting things on my largest organ that were good for my skin. And I have naturally very irritated skin. I don't suffer from it anymore, but I grew up with eczema from when I was 2 years old. And so I initially got into beauty because not my aunt, but my grandma was like, Lida, you're just not very pretty. No one's going to like you. And I had 82 stitches across my chin, had a bicycle accident. My front teeth are fake. So I am thankful for modern day dentistry, but I got into beauty initially from the typical place that a lot of people do, thinking this will make me okay. So we have to deconstruct that, because no amount of makeup covers up insecurity, and taking care of our skin is really a form of taking care of our body, so that the water we're drinking can be taking care of our organs and not rushing out to be trying to protect us, but going internally. And so taking care of our skin and taking care of our makeup in a way that fits us to protect us from the sun damage, the free radicals, but that a way that serves us, instead of, caking things that the beauty industry is hawking to us that are actually bad for us and clog our pores open. And it's just that balance between what's good for your body and what's good for the psychology and the ingredients. And I love that I can serve more than just, this is how you put blush on.
And I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna go back to the 80s. It's in high school, and the girls got the gross sponge that they borrowed from their mother, and they're just caking on as much whatever they can do, and everybody's sharing makeup brushes. And I don't want to bash any cosmetic companies out there, but we'll talk about some of the cosmetic companies out there that, are just horrible. And of course, we grew up in Southern California, so we baked and fried our skin so that we would look like the Bande de Soleil woman, okay, which was a woman on television. And now we're all of my friends in my generation who were all in our 50s, we're catching up with taking care of our skin, working better makeup, working those natural ingredients. So thank God they have all of that now. But if you're an early person that can climb on this routine, but yeah, thank you for supporting that. That really is the most important thing, rather than just all the plastic stuff, literally the plastic stuff that we used to put on ourselves.
Yeah. And, getting over this idea that aging is unattractive, we just want to age well in a way that our skin is healthy, and that, pulling on your eyes every day to put your eyeliner on is just going to make them sag more when you're older. So just little things like that. And so before the pandemic, I would meet with people in their bathroom. I love doing the face-to-face, and I would always sanitize my hands. And so my family's elected me during the pandemic to be the grocery shopper because I'm good at not touching my face. And I was at a trade show one time, and a very, a well-known makeup artist was cleaning her sponges in the drinking fountain. So when you brought that by, it was like, oh, trauma, I saw that. That's so gross. There are so many germs that get introduced from your powders and waxes. And though some of these can be natural, they're not necessarily good for your skin. So I would meet with people and teach them how to put their eyeliner on for their face, their eyeshadows, because watching a YouTube video is not going to teach you your different face and contours and coloring and all of that.
So please, Lida, so I know that you're going to be speaking on this. You've got a great presentation. Everybody's going to be going to the empoweryouexpo.com website and finding out how to engage with everybody's presentations, ours included and everybody else's included, that we're having these lovely pre-conference conversations with. So we want you to catch Lida's presentation. But Lida, also, can you tell everybody how to engage with you personally? Let's funnel everybody to you, please. Website, social media, and all of that, please.
Absolutely. So I'm also a speaker and author. So my website is www.Leta, Leta Green, like the color with an E on the end. And I'm not doing makeup there because I'm not pushing out. I don't want to be the typical beauty lady, right? So I have a private makeup group. So people, if you just reach out to me and say, I'd like to be in your makeup group, then I put people in there. But I'm not trying to be the match all for makeup. I'm putting out my self-esteem and my confidence and our image and self-perception talk first. And so that's where you'll find me, but my website, my social media, Lida Green, aka Hotness, Lida Green, my personal, but I have a weird name, so I'm easy to find.
Can you please hold your books up for everybody? And are the books available on Amazon?
They're Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and of course my website, so that my children can eat. No, I'm just teasing, because, all authors, we prefer if you buy them from our website because we're greedy entrepreneurs. But this is my first book, How to Embrace Your Inner Hotness, and it's an inside-outside makeover. So it is going into confidence and beauty and a remaking of breaking down beauty ideas. And I'm honored that it's sold over 35,000 copies. It's done very well. It's been out for about 6 years. And then this is my most recent book. It's called Love Me Too, and it's my response to the Me Too movement, that we are damaged or victimized because we've gone through sexual abuse. So all of these things kind of do go together. They seem random, but it's really about what we're projecting out into the world. And as I talked about in our pre-talk, because we just immediately started enjoying each other, was that, makeup is just the medium that I'm using to love on people. And it's something that I started doing very young because I'm artistic and was good at it, but I didn't love how the beauty world made it all about shame, and shaming myself included. And so that's something that is the main makeover we're going to have, is really talking about how you're perceiving yourself and what poop you're allowing into your mindset about you, because we're all made to be incredibly beautiful, radiant beings. Male and female men, we can be beautiful.
That's right. Thank you so much for this lovely, lovely conversation. I want to encourage all of the viewers, now you got to check out her presentation, right? I mean, she's doing all the great stuff with her gift. Aesthetically beautiful on the outside, extraordinarily radiant from the inside is Lida Green. So please, please visit her website and, get the books. I tell everybody, just get the books. We love books. We love books still, right? Let's get them. We want.
There is a special on my website for both.
Perfect. Thanks everybody for being here with us for these lovely pre-conference chats. We'll be back with you soon. And again, please visit the empoweruexpo.com website. Tina has set things up super easy for everybody to be able to engage in the depth and manner that they feel inspired to do so. I'm Casey Wallace. I'll be back with you again shortly. Thanks so much.